Hi everyone, it's Annie over at StampAnniething with another video for you today. And today we are using these adorable Queen & Company card shaker kits. This is the lines kit, and you can see they do have different styles, but it comes with everything you need. Got some sequins from Amazon, and we are going to make a cute shaker card using patterned paper and our image. Okay, so let's open this up and I'll show you everything that the cute little card kit comes with. Okay, so you have your foam, your acetate, you have the card base, and then you have the top matte template that you can paint, put cardstock on, distress ink it, whatever you would like to do for your card. We are going to put colored pattern paper on top. So we're going to take our foam, and you can see it has sticky on that side and sticky on the other as well. I am just going to peel that off. And we are going to put it on the front of the card base. Okay. And I'm just going to make sure we get a really good pressure so that when we add our sequins, none of them leak into other box areas that we don't want. And there's your card base now. So now we're going to get our sequins and we're going to add each to one section. Okay, so let's open up the sequins here. Sequins are always a little messy for me, as well as glitter to get all over. Get this lid off. Okay, there we go. And I'm just going to use a little teaspoon, and I am going to scoop up some golds into the first line, pink to the second, and the silver black color into the third, and I'm just going to repeat the colors. I decided not to use the white one because it's actually more like a clear glitter and it probably wouldn't have shown up, so I'm just going to use these other three colors. Okay. And do the gold again. You don't need a lot in shaker cards, and I probably put too much in that first one, so let's take some of that out. Okay, move that aside. And now we are going to put that all in there. Alright, we're going to remove now the top sticky backing paper. Oh lordy, look at that static cling. Oh, what a mess. Oh, okay. And, oh, some of them jumped onto, that's not good. Hold on, I gotta get those all in the space, otherwise our template topper is not going to stick in those areas. Okay, stay tuned, I'll be right back. Let me clean this up with some tweezers or something, and I will see you in the next frame of the video. Be right back. Cut! Okay, so I am back, and I cleaned it up a bit, and now I'm taking my acetate sheet to put on the top layer, and you had to clean that area up, otherwise the acetate wouldn't have got a good adhesive, so clean that up, and now we're sticking this right on there. And there we go. And now we have our shaker card. Just make sure it's down there good. And we're going to see how the lines match up with the template perfectly. And now we can push this there. Okay. And clean up our area a little bit. And let's see. We are going to take the template and our pretty colored cardstock patterned paper, flip it over, and I'm just going to trace the template to the back side of my paper. Let me get a pencil. Never have one around when you need it, of course. Okay. So I'm just going to trace the whole template. First I'll do the outside, get all the edges. And then I want to make sure to get all of the inside because we're going to have to slit those and fold them back on top of this template here to get the nice crisp line. Okay, last one. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to angle out the sides on both edges for those side pieces to flip over, and then cut a straight line down the center. I'm going to speed up the next section so you don't have to be bored with it. Okay, I just poked some holes, cutting up the center of each of those rectangles so I can fold that over, angling out the side pieces. Do it on both sides. And then I'm going to adhere my template to the paper. So let me get some glue, gluing that down. Well, putting on the glue. Now I'm gluing it down. And now I'm flipping it over, and I am just making sure to fold up all of those edges. Okay, so now just a really quick speed coloring of the stamp that I used, which is our new Annie stamp special delivery. I do have slower videos using these same combinations in other videos if you'd like to view them at regular time instead of speed coloring time. But we're just doing her skin really quick. I use the same skin tones for most of my projects, so that's why I'm saying you can pick this up in a different video if it's something that appeals to you. Okay, just blend it out. And I will post up all the colors of my combos that I used on my blog post with the hair and her outfit if you are interested into seeing what colors were used when I did her. So now I'm just quickly doing her hair. Adding different variations of a blonde so she could be a pretty little dirty blonde. And I do tend to do the hair colors probably 2 times. With the darkest last, so it gets that really nice contrast in where her roots and shadows are. And there's the darkest color, and you can see it really makes it pop and gives it a lot more texture and definition when you add a nice contrast color. Alright, so that's pretty much her hair. So now let's start on her outfit. again, all of these colors will be listed out in the description box below and also on our blog. Some of the areas are really small, so you don't need a load of colors. Just 1 or 2 shades of the same color family is enough to give you that contrast of a lighter and darker look, like on the envelope and her shirt. And when I'm done coloring, I usually go back with a gel pen, add polka dots, stripes, highlights, whatever I need. I always go around the eyes so that they get a nice white area, and then any mistakes that I might have bled out on. And then I go back with the black marker because sometimes I smear the white into her black eye. Alright, so there is our colored image. So now it's time to assemble, and I just took some twine in a pretty purple color to match her outfit, and I'm just basically wrapping it around on the lower portion of the card. Let's see, angle it the way I need. Now I'm gonna go ahead and add my adhesive, and we can now stick that onto the front of our card mat, our card base rather, I'm sorry. Okay, adhere that down nice and good. There's our little girl, and we're gonna make a little bow because it's still too plain. Go get pop dots for her. And we are now going to place her where she will stay on our card. And we're going to get a tiny glue dot for our bow. Shake it up, it's working great. Now I thought the card was a little too plain, so I thought I still have more of these Queen & Company foam shapes, so I thought, oh, let's put a heart in this big open area on the top and put in some purple sequins to match her outfit. But as you will see as this video continues, this was a complete blunder on my part, and you will see how I had to end up fixing, because I really did not have a plan at this point. I just thought, oh, let's put a heart there, and it did not work out. So I am probably trying to get the acetate pieces or something off to the side of the camera. Yeah, there it is. And I probably at this point am realizing now that I did not put a solid color underneath the heart. So if I added sequins, it's going to blend in with the plaid and everything. So I was thinking, okay, well, maybe I could put another heart inside there. And then, you know, I just wasn't thinking. It was one of those, hey, let's do it on the spur of the moment. And you find that it doesn't always work out what you were thinking, because you didn't think ahead far enough. So obviously, see, there we go. First mistake there. So I have to take that heart out. Put that aside, and then let's see. have our clear acetate, that's the solid bottom, and then as you can see on the side we have a clear acetate, that's the top piece, which I was still just not thinking clearly enough, because if I had, I would have known that I was not going to cover that with paper. So at this point, not knowing my mistake, I'm tracing the bottom piece of the heart so that I could make a colored, a solid bottom, so that when I add the sprinkles and this, the sequins, it would, you know, show up. So I'm just fitting a heart to the bottom of that foam piece. And now I'm like, well, look at that. I remembered now to put the heart in there. And here I am, I'm just happily going at it, thinking that it's all going to work out, and I'm now adding my red line tape so I can adhere this to my card, still not realizing that there's no way for me to cover really well that top part of the heart where the foam is, thinking that I was just going to, you know, put a piece of paper on it. So here I am in my trying to get that red line tape off, thinking what I'm about to do is going to work, and it doesn't, and you will soon see. So I put that back down, and I even go, here's the acetate for on top. Then I put in some sequins. And of course we got that static clean again, which you think I would have remembered from last time, and for some reason it would not adhere. So I am trying to put this clear acetate on the top of the foam, and for whatever reason it just did not want to stick. It wasn't because it wasn't sticky, it was, but for some reason it just would not stick and would not hold, and that's when I realized, what am I going to do with this thing? So off camera, what you don't see is I tried red line tape on it, I even tried, you know, my glue. It just would not stick very well at all. So there's my big blunder that I then have to figure out a way what I'm going to do to fix it. So I had heart dies, and I figured, I have to have a heart die that would fit, but then of course it's not the same size as the foam. So then I was like, well, maybe I could just trim the foam away. But I realized if I trimmed the foam away, then the sequin part would not show up because of how thin that border is where the foam is. So I'm sitting there trying to figure it out, tapping my fingers, and let's see what... So then I thought, okay, I'll just give this a try. Took that outline of the heart for the topper, and I just thought, okay, I'll do it the same way that I did the base of the card. I'll trace it, I'll fold it over, and that didn't go as well either. I don't think I took the picture on camera, but basically what ended up happening is you just really did not get a really good, clean, straight line on it, and it made the heart very choppy looking, I guess would be a good way to say it. But at this point, that was the idea that I had, so I was running with that idea, but you will see, didn't go with that one either. This project was really starting to frustrate me at this point, because basically, you know, 90% of the card is done, except for now I have that area up on the top where I put that heart, and nothing is working. And I'm trying to figure it out, because I know that if I take that foam off, it's probably going to rip my paper over there. So I'm trying to do everything I can to get what I started to work. So here I am, just trying to get these pieces and make it kind of look smooth. And the inner part wasn't so bad, and then I am tracing out the outer so I know where to put my cut line. And I just start doing all the little cuts so that I can start to fold it over. Just trying to wiggle the paper around. And remember, the last piece of acetate, the sticky, nothing was really sticking to it, and the same thing ends up happening on this piece too. So just really trying to get it to look like the shape of a heart with it as smooth as I can, but it's really hard when you're going around the curves. I'm sure that if I took more time and cut it, you know, with more angles in there, it would have done it. So here I just put some tape on it and I'm trying to adhere it, and it just keeps popping up. It just would not adhere. So trying to take it off, try to do it with some red line. And the red line just came right off of it as well. So I decided to just scrap the whole idea, just use that heart die instead, and figure out something else to do with this part of the card, since it's got, maybe you can't tell, but it did have some paper rips when I took that foam heart off of it. So then I thought, okay, well, let's try it with the foam heart. And this just didn't work out as well either. So as you can see, I really tried to do many different things on this project, and because I didn't think it out how I wanted to do it before I started, it just did not work at all. So I had to go from plan A to plan B to plan C and try many different things until I got what I want. And sometimes you start a project and you just don't like the way it's coming along, and you have to think on your toes and come up with other solutions. So at this point I went back to the die cut. I just cut out a scrap sheet of paper, used the purple markers that were in her jacket to give like a variance of color to put behind the opening of the heart. And I was done at this point. I just wanted this project to be over because it was dreadful at this point. So we're just makeshifting a different sort of heart to put on this project. And I'm trying to cover up, there's rips in the paper, nothing crazy as you can see there. Just trying to angle the heart to cover as many of the ripped papers that I can get to get covered, because this heart was smaller than the foam. So then I was like, well, if I move it up and I put a sentiment in the area on the bottom part, it'll cover the two rips in the paper. And that's what we ended up doing. So I went and I cut out a tag. I put my heart where it would cover the top of the ripped paper. Added a little decorative edge. And now I have my sentiment. It doesn't fit because she has pop dots behind her, and I can't get it underneath her. So trying to wiggle it in, not working, so just gonna cut off a little tip of the banner. Get her in there. And then I can just stamp my sentiment on her and be done with this forever. And there we go. And that is how we fixed a blunder of a card to actually something we ended up being happy with, even though initially it was not in our plans of what we were going to do at all. And you will see our finished project. There she is. I think she came out really cute. Just was really happy to have her done. So I hope you enjoyed our video. Just remember, you can make mistakes and you can always fix them, so don't throw those projects away. Just keep reworking them until you get it to the place that you want it to be. Have a good day, and thanks for stopping by.